Hey, this is Glendon, and this is going to be a really quick video because I got a question and it is becoming very evident that people are taking these shows too seriously. I'm not yelling at you or anything. I know you meant no harm because there's just a huge curiosity to see what comes out of units. Let me give you the breakdown. This is what you're really going to find in storage units. You're going to find trash. You're going to find rats, roaches, spiders, dust, mold, and you're also going to find gold, diamonds, guns. But let's look at the proportions. That stuff that I mentioned at first, that's what you're going to find the vast majority of the time. Big hits. When I wrote my book, it wasn't predicated on finding these awesome units, because the fact of the matter is, unless you are a full-time storage auction buyer who is buying in the neighborhood of 10 to 20 a month, and that's kind of light, or if you're really a heavy hitter like I was, buying 20 to 50 a month, and that's various sizes of 5x5 up to a 10x30, you're not going to have the type of success that I had. The more you buy, the luckier you become. And even with that type of buying volume, sometimes I went months without what I call a jackpot unit. And a jackpot unit is a unit that you make 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 times what you paid for it. It may go 2 months. Sometimes, I went on this dry spell, like for 6 months, I didn't get a gun. 6 months of buying out there, and I look back and I was buying 40, 50 units. It just comes in spells. So all this super fragile-calistic, super nice shit is not going to happen all the time. When I wrote my book, it is predicated on selling the items that you're going to come across frequently. When I was in the business, and Dave Hester from Storage Wars actually said this in a show, and I haven't heard anyone talk about it. It was an episode where he bought some stuff and he went in and he was donating to Goodwill, and he said exactly Goodwill, because he apparently called a charge and had to do some community service or something. His words, not mine. And he said that experience of doing that community service saved his business. He actually said this because he was not selling the high-end stuff like he used to, and when he totally changed his business model around. It taught him how to process, and he developed this machine. Because the thing is, even if you went out every day of the week and got super nice stuff, super nice, very expensive stuff sits. This was the proportions in my store. 40% was dollar items. 4,000 square feet were dollar items. Everything in that area, sheets, whatever, was $1. Then there was another area, middle of the road stuff. That was 30%, 30 to 40% at times. So that's 80% of what I had on the floor was regular old stuff. And then that 20 to 10% was the super nice, super sweet stuff, and it sold in those same exact proportions. Now, this whole thing, I know the show's got you gassed up, and you're thinking every unit's going to have all this super nice, what I call the wow factor, well, what Daryl Sheets calls the wow factor and all this stuff. It's not going to happen. If you're predicating your expectations in this business on those shows, you're going to be severely disappointed every day of the week. Because one of the things that I noticed with the shows, and I understand it, I'm going to explain why they do what they do, and I'm not mad at them, is I see a lot of stuff, like when they're pulling out stuff and I see a unit, and in my head I'm like, okay, they paid $250, I can sell that, I can sell that, I can sell that. Man, I'm at $1,200. And then they pull out this one item and run to the appraiser, and everybody's like, ooh. In my storage auction career of 8 years and some months, I took maybe 150 items to an appraiser. You want to know why? One, all the appraisers I know charge money. They do not do for like, oh yeah, I'm going to look at that, then turn around and pay me what they told me it was worth. No! They're like, my appraisal fee is this. Write that check, pay cash, credit card, or whatever. Also, it's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And, and for me, and if you watch this channel and you've seen a lot of things, you know that I get a lot of joy just out of going through people's shit. I mean, it's like going to your neighbor's house and going through all the drawers and reading their letters, looking at their W-2s, looking at their pay stubs, seeing what kind of car. I mean, to me, it was just so interesting looking at that stuff. And that was part of the thrill for me. And also, every day was like Christmas because, you weren't getting gold, but you might get this super pair of really nice cufflinks that you'll keep for yourself. Or you might be exposed to some that you never even knew existed. Or you might just develop a new hobby. There were so many things that storage auctions did for me that had nothing to do with high volume items that I am eternally grateful for. See, this business is a hard business. It's a killer business. It'll work the shit out of your business, but it's fun. And if you don't have that type of passion that drives you, that you're just naturally curious. I have bought units because I wanted to see what was in a box up on top of a post. I have bought a unit for that reason, and every time that I had that little hunch, and this hunch you're not going to have this hunch when you're brand new. This hunch comes from buying dozens and dozens of units and noticing patterns and situations. There's so many things that goes into this. And that's what I did. Now, with the shows, I was up for a storage auction show, which is funny. If things that went through, I would have had the first show, but it didn't happen out that way. The execs, personal opinion, I don't know him, but he did not like the whole concept of people's shit being sold. And he's looking like an idiot now because he didn't seize it. But anyway, when they shoot a show, a cheap show is $150,000 to $200,000 per episode. That's the reason reality television is so big, because you can spend that type of budget and still charge the same ad rate. Whereas a show like 2.5 Men, that's 5, 6, 7 million per episode. So essentially they could shoot a whole season of reality television for the same cost of one network episode. So do you understand why there's such a huge volume of reality shows? It's cost. It's opportunity cost. It's the cost of doing business. I mean, from a business perspective, it makes 100% sense. It makes a lot of sense, and it's making millions and billions of dollars. That's why you see that. Okay, with the shows. Knowing what I know about the storage auction business, like I said, you could be out there for weeks to months. Now, those production budgets start the minute they have the cameraman, the mic man, they have all these people running around, they start getting paid 8 o'clock. You can't pay all these people to sit around for weeks or months waiting for something to come. So that's why the shows are geared the way that they are. It makes perfect sense, and like I said, I'm not mad at them. I'm mad at you people who are, for some reason, refuse to separate the reality from the fantasy. It's like this one guy that was at an auction and he bought this unit, and it was a turkey. It was a turkey. I mean, it was gobble gobble. I just saw this man waste $1,200, and I'm just looking at him like, why did you do that? And he said, well, it's got to be in there. No, it does not have to be in there. It doesn't have to be in there. The cushions don't have to be in there. The hardware doesn't have to be in there. None of that stuff has to be in there. Okay, quick deal about me for all you new people. I am out to business because it is a huge conflict of interest for me to be out there trying to buy units and then try to teach you all my secrets. I'm sorry, there's some people who say, there's enough for everybody. I don't believe in that noise, because if I was still out there, my storage auction book would be that thin, because there's no way in hell I would tell you how I did it, then turn around and give you the information for you to compete with me. To me, that's stupid as hell. I'm sorry, And when I got out the business, it was a big decision. I got sick. My partner was diagnosed with cancer and recently passed. And there was a lot of stuff that went with that. But when I got out, I said, you know what? You write this book, there may not be any going back. Because, a lot of people are like, well, you got the knowledge, you go back. A lot of these fuckers here in Georgia hate my ass. When the reality show came and we went to shoot a pilot, I had to talk to a good friend, and they talked to storage people and they let us film. People I thought were my friends would not even talk to me, turned their backs on me, and one like, "You're the reason all these people coming out. It just ain't right. It just ain't right." And I let that guy get a killer unit and friendship, and that's how he treated me. But it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I got my big boy drawers on, and I'm all right. I'm all right. I'm all right. But that's the reality of that. So for me to go back out there, it's just like, why? I mean, why? I missed the shit out of it. And, I'll be honest, I got some people who get me stuff when I need stuff. I can't say who they are, because if people knew they were affiliated with me, they would run the shit out of them. That's the facts. So I do have sources, and every now and then I will pop out there. But when you make a decision to chase a dream, there's a lot of unintended consequences. I mean, I'll be really real with you. I thought this storage auction book was going to be like a 60-year-month, a 6-month or a year-long deal, and then I was going to do all my erotica and my Passionate Friday stuff, and this whole thing just went, shoot, come on, let's go, let's go. I mean, it was like a tidal wave. I was like washed into it. This thing just took off. So that's my deal. And as for the pictures and stuff, I'm going to be kind and considerate to the new people who are watching these videos, because you don't know. There's 307 videos, and many of the questions that you're asking are in those videos. And I'm going to say, please watch all the videos. Why I'm out the business is in the video. Certain things, they're in the video. And if you want a quick answer, buy the book. That's all I got to say on that. And I'm not going to be all ratchet and crazy with you, because thanks for subscribing and joining the channel, and I'm just letting you know how it is. But let that notion go. 90% of the stuff you're going to get is just going to be regular, run-of-the-mill stuff, but because you're getting it at such a discount, you can make money. You make the money with the small regular stuff. Then when you get a big hit, it's more money, more money, more money. But don't predicate your business on that you're going to go out and go to 20 auctions or 100 auctions and buy 1, 2, 3 rooms a month and then make 10 to 50 G's a month. That is a pipe dream. Because anyone that truly thinks that is smoking something in the pipe. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So on terms of me putting up pictures, I wrote the first book in 2009. It is 2011. Before I wrote that book, I did not go to an auction most of 2009, because I was sick. So really, 2008, in the tail end of 2008, that was my last active auction days. So 2009, 2010, 2011 is about to be over. Now, this brings the question, why should you listen to me since I've been out the game so long? Excellent question. I'm going to hit you with it. Because I was so innovative in what I did. And check out the reviews of my book. These are reviews from people who spent the $50 to $60 who bought the book, and they're 4 and 5 star reviews. I did this. I lived, I breathed storage auctions. And I was the first one in Atlanta to do Craigslist. I was not the first one to do eBay, but I was one of the strongest eBayers from storage auctions, because many people back in the day only sold at garage sales, antique marks, and flea markets. Did not do Craigslist, did not do eBay, did not develop a business plan, did not develop a customer base, and it allowed me to go from them wearing my ass out to me being one of the big dogs in a very short period of time. One guy even said, he's like, you came along pretty damn fast for a newcomer. It's like, I was new to storage auctions, but I wasn't new to business. And that's the deal. So take this to heart. Let that stuff go. Understand, if you're going to watch the show, it's for entertainment value only. Know that. Because it's, you can hit big. It can happen. But the thing is, you got to have some skin in the game, you got to have a program, and you need to be really deep in the business. Because a video I put up earlier about, the storage wars effect, the storage wars auction hunters effect, predictions and observations, just check out that list. That's what's happening. And some people don't like that because they don't want it to be that way, and they wish it was another way, and they wish things would get better. And life is not a wish. Life is what you do and what you take and what you make. That's life. All this wishing, that's for kids. So all I gotta say is grow the fuck up. All right, this is Glendon with Making Money with Storage Unit Auctions.